Hello, my name is Warren Garrett, and this is a presentation on God's Chosen Ones. We're a new organization that has joined the fight against drug and alcohol addiction. Our motto is basically we can always do more. We've taken the responsibility for those that didn't make it. The problem of drug addiction really affects us all, no matter where you're at in this world. Our mission statement is basically to promote healing from addiction through inspiration. And let me just pause right there because I want to say that it's easier for somebody to change because they're inspired to change rather than to force. Force is a vehicle that can lead to change, but the way we say it is it's a taxi cab that leads to the airport that then takes you to the final destination. We want to encourage them to reach for achievement through the power granted by Jesus Christ. God chooses us all to live a good life, and He gives us the power to do so. This whole idea of one being powerless against addiction, there's never been any real proof that that is a philosophy that has garnered any kind of success. So we want to help people tap into the power that we know that they have. We want them to continue down the path of reaching one's full potential with the ability to see beyond one's current condition. Meaning we want them to be able to have something to look forward to, something tangible. Big problems with the drug treatment field today. Ineffective treatment, like I said, it affects us all. For one, insurance costs. Anybody that pays for insurance feels this effect unknowingly sometimes. A long time ago, the insurance companies realized this ineffectiveness of this treatment, and they decided that they would only pay for 30 days of treatment. And as a response to this, the treatment centers then started popping up with all these 30-day programs that really don't work. There's really never been any proof that they work. There's no evidence that they really work. Um, they were able to inflate their costs so much that today it costs about $40,000 on average for one person to go to one 30-day treatment program. So $40,000 a month. Wow. So a way that they recoup some of that money, meaning the insurance companies, is they pass that on to the consumer. You. Another way we all feel the effects of this is within our community. Those surrounding the addicts. Those are the ones that we really want to help the most because they suffer in silence and they suffer undeservingly as they have to watch their family and loved ones succumb to this disease. For example, a mother who loses her son to a drug overdose no longer wants to volunteer within the community because she's so grief-stricken. The ripple effect of this just goes on and on and on. Uh, all these programs, they barely have a 2% success rate in our area here in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. So 98% of the people that go to treatment don't make it. And a lot of this comes from, and I don't mean to place any blame here, but a lot of that comes from the leaders of these programs. You'll see a lot of ego, arrogance, pride. They just won't take responsibility. They won't even admit that it's not working. Their position has become more important than the patient. One way this happens is there's what we call the fundamental attribution error. That's an overestimation of this whole idea of the addict just or the patient, they just didn't want it enough or they didn't work the program. You'll hear that a lot. There's really been no proof of this actually being a beneficial philosophy. If you think about it like this, if you had a business and you sold a product and you were only making 2% of the sales, and eventually you would have to change your strategy. You can't just keep blaming the customer and saying that 98% of people just don't know what good is. Eventually you got to change your strategy. You got to change your product. You have to change something. And I challenge all these programs to do the same. It's not that I want these programs to be gone. I appreciate these programs and I just want to help them to achieve more success. Solutions. We had a house. We call it the Freedom House. It offered safe housing. You can see me off to the right there. You see me kind of doing some rehab in there. The bottom picture is what it ended up looking like. We did a lot of work in there. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that house. We saw so much success there that we learned an important lesson the hard way. Always have a written agreement. The house that we had, and we didn't own it. So once we started receiving a lot of accolades and things like that from the community, the gentleman that owned the house, he wanted to take back over control of the house and kind of run his own version of what we were doing, which sad to say it didn't work out for him the best. But we did experience a 75% success rate. We were able to do that with goal setting. Goals got to be big. You can't have this play it safe. Only set goals that you think you can attain. It just doesn't work. There's never been any proof that it works like that. Men and women both. We hope to work with women too in the future. Right now, we're just a men's program, but we want to get more properties and be able to help women as well. We got to encourage them daily. Even if we have to ask them to leave, we still encourage them. You'd be surprised at how people are treated on their way out of a treatment program. They're often told that they're not going to make it, that they're a failure, that even that they're going to die, which that's crazy. How could you say that to somebody? We know as Christians that when you speak something into somebody's life, it could come true just for the simple fact that you're speaking it. It's power in that. Goals need to be written, spoken, and thought daily. When they wake up, when they go to bed, they're writing their goals down. They're thinking about them all day. Uh, Inspirational development comes in when maybe people just don't have the ability to think up anything too big. They've been in such a down uh, bottom part of life for so long that they need some more inspiration. So we take them to leadership conferences. We get them going to see motivational speakers and different pastors and different functions, things like that, to really get them to be encouraged and, more importantly, to be inspired. Um, we want to have some fellowship with those who have seen success. In my introduction to psychology class, we learned about mirroring neurons, and how that works is like, say you're doing something simple. Say you're just dribbling a basketball. They can hook up electrodes and things to your head. They could see what parts of the brain light up as you dribble that basketball. Now, take for example, say you're just watching somebody dribble a basketball. They can see that the same parts of your brain light up as if you were doing it yourself. And we believe that that's because your brain is like running you through a simulation. It's basically telling you, hey, you could do this too. So we combine that with uh, having people come and share and fellowship, people that have seen real success, people that are living it and seeing that. We want them to be able to see this on a daily basis. So we have those people come in. Then comes the personal development, employment. We have relationships with different employers in the area, uh, places that we can send them that they can actually go and get a decent wage. None of this McDonald's stuff. Although, if that's necessary, then we could encourage them to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. We just want them to always be advancing, always be thinking about the future. I have a good brother of mine, this guy named Alif. Man, he's great. Excellent brother, knows his stuff on credit building and rebuilding, really business minded, can teach these guys about business ministry ownership so that if that's something they have a passion about, they can learn how to set up their own organizations and go out and help us continue to change the world. Um, so with all those things together, it's really a revolutionary way to approach drug and alcohol treatment. Lebanon is a great place to really restart. Everything's close by. There's really no need for a car right away. You could pretty much get around wherever you need to get to. And also, we that would be something that we would also help provide. Um, this is a house here we're looking at. Great looking house. It's currently foreclosed. We would call this the Freedom House. It has 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. Which that was one thing we learned in our last house was that having a bunch of people in one house with one bathroom makes it pretty tough. Uh, Plenty of space for classes and group discussions. This will be a great house. It's right on the corner there, as you can see. It's right next to public transportation. There's a library, there's a YMCA, and like I said, we also help with transportation and employment and things of that nature. So um, we're currently trying to raise money for this. We're hoping to reach our goal by next year. There's other houses that we know of, so even if we don't reach that goal, we're going to still keep pushing. One thing that I just want to leave you with this. One thing that people often ask when somebody passes away close to them, they ask, what could I have done? Was there something else I could have done? You often have that sting of regret. Um, so I just encourage you, if you've ever felt that, or God forbid you ever do, join in with us. Contribute to us, help us out, and know that you did something. Thank you again for your time, and I hope to see you again.